Coming up on Transformers University, we'll have a hero be chosen, we'll get some new bracelets, and we'll find out one origin of the Godmasters right now on Transformers University.
Welcome to Transformers University, brought to you by TFU.INFO. Wait and see. From toys and comics, cartoons to the screen, we'll dive into the history no one will be. Transformers University, brought to you by TFU.INFO. Info, where the stories unfold, the legends grow with the owner, operator, Method Anthony. Transformers University, it's the place to be. Autobots and Decepticons, battles and lore, every twist and turn we've got the score. From Cybertron's depths to the Earth's shore, it meets the eye and so much more. Transformers University, brought to you by TFU.INFO. Info, where the stories unfold, the legends grow with the owner, operator, Method Anthony. Transformers University, it's the place to be. It's the place to be. Zoom in, transform, and roll out with us at Transformers University. It's a must.
Hello, my friend, and welcome to Transformers University. I am your host, Anthony Brucali, owner, operator, madman behind TFU.INFO, the website, the toy archive, this podcast, TFU News and Views podcast, and oh so much more. And I want to welcome you to episode 153 of Transformers University. This time around, we're going back to Japan to talk about Masterforce episodes 10, 11, and 12. But before we do, just want to talk about a few things, few ways to get in touch, get involved. First off, the real easy way, it's a free way, the easiest free way, Blue Sky, bsky.social, bsky.app, TFU.INFO, all one word, is username there. It's where I hang out. It's where I post a lot of fun stuff. It's where I post stuff related to these episodes. So if you want to join a very much growing community, just hit 1,000 followers there in less than... I think I was at 200 in November, and we've added over 800 followers in the last 2+ months. So it's amazing, the growth there. It's amazing being able to connect and be a part of a community and connect with your audience. So if you're looking for a social media platform that isn't going to kind of push you around and make you game an algorithm just to get noticed, swing on by to Blue Sky, bsky.social, bsky.app. Before I continue on past that, I do want to plug the Patreon, patreon.com/TFUInfo. Real quick, it's the best way to help support this show, the website, and everything else we do. You can sign up for free and be a free member, and you'll get occasional posts from me. If you sign up at as little as $1 a month, you'll get access to this show early, and the further up the tiers you go, the more cool stuff you get, such as having your name mentioned as our seniors and super seniors are honored in every episode. And I forgot to do this in the last 2 episodes, so I'm kind of going to overdo it and do it more than once this episode and probably next episode too. So let's give a shout out to our active super seniors over at the Patreon, patreon.com/TFUInfo. Alex Mendoza, Eric Sire, John 4X Levengood, Jay Soups, Paul Heel, Rob Gerbrecht, and Sean Hamilton. Thank you all for being supporters. It means so much to me that you're supporting the show at the level you're supporting, and it's been just a huge help for me to continue doing this show and continue doing the website. So with that, we are going to move into our first episode. And we start with Masterforce episode 10. A hero is chosen. His name is Jinrai. Originally airing June 14th, 1988, or as the Omnidub likes to call it,
The Appointed Hero!
We open with Buster and Hydra, the famed team of B&H, finding out there's at least one more Godmaster on Earth, and he finds this out via Giga and Mega.
The Junior Warriors, Bombburst, and the Power Master Warriors are all different. They're all derived from me. They're my clones.
Clones?
You see, all these warriors are not whole living organisms. They're like you. They need to combine with a human body to form a different entity in order to function properly. Otherwise, they cannot produce the power that they should. Once combined, the entity will continue to grow and turn into a whole being. The power is then so great that it surpasses everything.
Really, it does?
That's right. That's why I have reservations.
Reservations?
The fact that this new being will change into an entity with its own mind means that we may not be able to control it, and it could turn into one of our enemies.
So you mean he could go over to the side of the Autobots and fight against us, right?
That is possible.
You know, we have some dub weirdness here. Headmaster Juniors, Godmasters, and Bombburst, but not the others. It's kind of odd. And are there clones of Giga? Something has definitely gotten lost a bit in the translation here. Basically, the Decepticons need to combine with humans and then find the Godmasters before the Autobots do. B&H, they're sent out to find this mystery being. At the Autobot Ocean Research Facility in the United States, Diver is waiting for a delivery, and he gets a call.
Mr. Waverider?
Yes, speaking.
I'm from the Ocean Delivery Company. I'm delivering some dolphins to you from the water world, but I'm sorry we've had some problems.
Oh, what's wrong?
Please don't worry, it's not a big thing. My truck is broken down. I've already phoned Rent-A-Truck, and as soon as I get another truck, I'll be on my way, okay?
Okay, I'll be waiting.
Bummer. This guy's flat-nosed truck looking to deliver bottlenose dolphins is broken down. The driver, not to be confused with Diver, the driver needs a truck, and the repair guy happens to have a loaner that looks very familiar. This driver makes the delivery of the sick dolphins, and the forklift driver accidentally dings the bumper of the truck. Elsewhere, B&H are in the U.S., and other Godmasters should probably also be in the U.S., according to them. We've checked back in with the truck driver, who's checking out the rental's glove compartment, and he finds a Pokeball. You may remember this from a few episodes back, with bracelets inside, much like the ones the Headmaster Juniors have. He puts on the bracelets, and then they just won't come off. Diver, not the driver, but Diver sees the driver with bracelets and notices that the bracelets have Autobot symbols. Diver then instructs the driver to take him to the garage. We find out the driver has an urge to stop bad guys, but is afraid to. Elsewhere, B&H meet up with the Decepticon Headmaster Juniors to get intel on the quote-unquote magic truck. On the ride back, the truck is out of control. The bumper heals itself, and the truck drives off a cliff. Diver jumps out in his pretender suit and takes his robot form. The truck crashes. The trailer falls on top of the truck. Brutal. Diver, however, cannot lift the trailer as Hydra and Buster arrive. The driver is still alive, and Diver defends the truck. Confused yet? I hope not, because I sure am. The driver's hurt and bloody, and there's actually a lot of blood in this for a Transformers cartoon. Buster and Hydra reveal there's a Godmaster vehicle there on the ground, and Diver continues to defend the truck, but he is losing that battle. The driver then accidentally touches his bracelets together, and suddenly he has Godmaster armor. The truck begins to heal itself, and then the armored driver merges with the truck at the grill and transforms into robot mode. The red and blue truck robot sure looks familiar as he scares off B&H. Diver and the driver reflect at the broken guardrail.
Tell me, what's your name?
Optimus Prime. I'm Japanese, but now I live in the States.
That's right. He's Optimus Prime. He's Japanese. Well, not exactly. His name is Jinrai. The dub does a lot to put the American names in, which can be very confusing. But Jinrai is not Optimus Prime, though the dub will call him that. This is one of the complexities the dub loses that has caused confusions for decades. So that doesn't help. I also like to know what powers these bracelets. I don't know if we've gotten into that yet. I don't know if we're going to see. I guess it's the Chokin power, but we'll find out. And that'll bring us to episode 11, first airing June 21st, 1988. Jinrai, Godon of Rage. Godon? Oof, I woke up with a raging Godon once. Or as the Omni version likes to call it.
Turn the anger to power!
All right, not even close, but okay, we'll work with it. We open during a lightning storm, and there's a military weather plane patrolling, and they spot the Decepticon island. Giga is working on his golf swing. No, really, he is there with a golf club and some golf balls. And really not smart to raise up a golf club in the middle of a lightning storm. I don't care how powerful you are. He sees the plane and then drives the golf ball into it, crushing it and killing the pilots. Yes, that's what I mean. These episodes get pretty violent. Giga, concerned about Jinrai joining the Autobots. Well, what do you need when you need to take out Jinrai? You go to B&H. B&H volunteer to do that, and Mega gives them a weapon to take Jinrai out. A box full of golf balls, aptly named the Death Ball.
That it's not just a clever name.
Back in California, Diver and Jinrai are on the observatory base to meet Lander. Lander is there to recruit Jinrai. Jinrai agrees but offers no way to stay in contact.
So how do we contact you?
To tell you the truth, I've never liked any corporations or companies. I've always worked on my own, and I don't like to take orders from anyone. I travel all the time, so I don't know how we can keep in touch. See you!
Jinrai then runs off, leaving Diver and Lander confused. At Cab's hut, Metalhawk pops in to pay the Headmaster Juniors a visit and tells them about their new potential team member. Back in the United States, Buster fires a death ball at a tractor trailer, killing the two drivers. Need to kill some random strangers in a truck? You go to B&H. At a truck stop, Jinrai chats with another truck driver, a friend of his named Billy. Billy drives a red flat-nosed truck, just like the one Jinrai has now. They split up with plans to meet later, and Billy, as he's driving, gets chased by a larger, angrier truck. It's a maroon red, kind of looks like the truck from Mask, and it is on Billy's tail. It truck rear ends Billy and pushes him through a rail crossing as a train's going by, just misses the train, and then crashes the truck. The whole thing's a great action sequence. One of the really more interesting parts of this episode. And then we find out that if you need to kill someone with a truck, you go to B&H because Hydra's driving the truck.
Looks like it's the wrong one.
Yes, Hydra. Maybe you could have figured that out before you killed him. Jinrai then arrives at the restaurant to meet his buddy Billy, and then hears some terrible news on the TV.
Another accident has occurred at Riley's Junction today. A truck driver has been killed. According to the number plates, his name was Billy.
We find out that Billy is, in fact, the fifth victim of B&H, and Lander and Diver go looking for Jinrai. Diver, in his human form, rides inside of Lander's vehicle mode. Jinrai then realizes that he is the target and heads out on the road. And as he's driving, he gets into a road incident with Hydra. Buster fires a death ball at Jinrai, and Jinrai drives off a cliff just as Lander and Diver arrive. Jinrai recovers and transforms and fights Buster and Hydra. And what do you do when a bunch of Autobots arrive, like Phoenix and Metalhawk? You go to B&H to flee and leave, firing off a pair of death balls. The rest of the team shows up, including the Headmaster Juniors, who apparently drove from Japan. And that's how we wrap this episode with another Decepticon MacGuffin that'll probably never get reused. I like the death balls. I really do. Some really cool action sequences and not really a lot of insight into what makes Jinrai so powerful just yet, or how he really is tied to Optimus Prime. Now, one of the things here that was really cool, like I said, the action sequences, the car chases, and the scene with Billy, who does not come back as New Soundwave, is a fantastic little section of this episode. The Decepticons in this series are just ruthless, which is why I can see people really liking Masterforce, aside from some of the other goofy and really weird concepts that don't always fit with Transformers lore. All right, we've got one more episode to cover, and we'll be back right after this. Hey, want to help out this podcast or the website TFU.INFO? There's a number of ways you can do it. Let me tell you how. You can help us directly by joining our Patreon and enrolling as a student at Transformers University. There, you'll get early access to the podcast as well as exclusive behind-the-scenes peeks and perks for as little as $1 a month. Sign up is quick and easy. Just swing on by to www.patreon.com/TFU.INFO. Another way you can help us is by using our Amazon link, www.tfu.info/Amazon. Type that into your browser whenever you want to shop at Amazon, and a portion of what you spend will be contributed back to us. It's that easy. Finally, you don't become the world's longest running transforming toy archive without some help from other fans. We're always on the hunt for photos of figures and accessories we're missing from our pages. If you'd like to contribute, go to tfu.info/help for a list of what we need, or send an email to info@tfu.info. tfu.info, the Alpha Trion and Omega Prime of transforming toys. Now, back to the show. All right, and that takes us to the final episode we'll cover this time around, episode 12, originally airing June 28th, 1988, A Strange Friendship, Cancer, and Minerva. Because if you're going to make friends with Cancer, you better be named Minerva. Or as the Omni Productions version calls it,
A friendship is born.
he's a pot of beans, and along comes Cancer. I just, the name, I know, I get it. It's like the astrological sign, but it's still just weird. All right, so let's start with the top of this episode. Jinrai is dreaming that he drove his truck into a tornado, and a strange orb fires at him and keeps him from becoming a robot. 3 other orbs arrive, and he awakens. He leaves his home and gets into his transtector, and he finds 3 more sets of bracelets in his glove box. He tells the Autobots about this, and Metal Hawk invites him to Japan. At Decepticon headquarters, the human Decepticons are watching their own highlights on TV. Mega wants to find the other 4 Godmasters, and when you do that, what do? Go to B&H. So as Buster and Hydra go out to look, Blood reports that Jinrai is coming to Japan, and Mega reacts.
We cannot allow Optimus Prime to land in Japan.
And what do you do when you want to do that? Send Cancer after them, of course. Jinrai arrives in Japan. The Headmaster Juniors pick him up. The Decepticon Headmaster Juniors are watching and following, and Ghost Shooter and Cab catch on to the fact that they're being followed, stop and transform and fight the Decepticon Headmaster Juniors. They're losing, and Jinrai arrives to join the fight and defeats all 3 of the Headmaster Juniors. When the Decepticon Headmaster Juniors awaken, they find out they're cancer-free. That's because the Autobots took him captive and chained him to a bed. Minerva takes a liking to him and treats his wounds, and Jinrai and Metal Hawk examine their bracelets. Frustrated, Jinrai goes to interrogate Cancer. And if there's one thing I know is it can't talk to Cancer. Minerva stands in his way. She does not want to see him get hurt. And Minerva watches on the view screen in the other room as the interrogation continues. And then we get a flashback via Cancer where Giga reveals the Godmaster's origins.
Our master was a different life form to us. It was called God of the Universe. It was like a guardian angel to the Decepticons. This guardian angel arrived on Earth millions of years ago, even before mankind evolved. And as soon as it arrived, it underwent a division and was split into 7 segments. These 7 divisions have scattered all over the land, but the main body fell into the depths of the ocean. After being in the depths of the ocean for centuries, it has finally awoken. But it's been transformed into a machine and is now waiting to merge with a human. And this human will be Chief Mega and I.
Also, the 7 divisions from its main body have all been transformed into machines. Up to now, we have found 2 of them. They are Darkwing and his brother, Dreadwind.
But now one of the remaining 5 has turned against us. It's Optimus Prime. And worse still, he's gone over to the Autobots.
Therefore, the only thing we can do now is to eliminate him. Plus, we have to find the other 4 as soon as possible. We need their help. When all of them join up again, they'll change back into the Power Master they used to be. When that time comes, the Decepticons will finally have control not only of the Earth, but of the whole universe.
After that, Jinrai and Metalhawk discuss the Godmasters and come up with a plan. Once again, they release Cancer and put a tracker on him. Wilder and Bullhorn, the other 2 Decepticon Headmaster Juniors, are on the look for Cancer, and Buster and Hydra arrive. Just as the Autobot Headmaster Juniors bring Cancer to the forest and release Cancer into the forest. Hydra finds the tracker on the back of Cancer and destroys it, and the Autobot Headmaster Juniors transform. Well, Ghost Shooter and Cab do. As Minerva's about to transform, Buster hops into her car and puts a gun to her head. Then we see Hydra transform, and Hydra defeats Cab and Ghost Shooter. Jinrai arrives and defeats Hydra, but Buster still has Minerva hostage at gunpoint with a gun to her head. Hydra takes advantage of this and turns the tables on Jinrai in the battle that they're having. But as they're watching this, Cancer steals Buster's gun and protects Minerva. I guess he's paying her back for her defending him against Jinrai and Metalhawk. Jinrai defeats Hydra, and B&H retreat, and the Decepticon Headmaster Juniors flee. We wrap with the narrator telling us about Jinrai and how he's decided to join the Autobots. And that wraps up the 3rd and final episode of this podcast. And so what I've seen so far is that the lore is kind of confusing and kind of contradictory to other Transformers stuff. It does suffer from the slow drip that is 1980s Japanese animation. But action is really the show's biggest strong point. I know that after I get past the second commercial break in any episode, I know the third portion of the show is just going to be filled with a fight scene that is usually pretty good and pretty entertaining. And that will wrap up our coverage of 3 more episodes of Masterforce. Now, before we wrap up and before I tell you what's coming in the show next week, I want to thank my patrons one more time. So big thanks to Alex Mendoza, Eric Sire, John Forex Levergood, Jay Soups, Paul Hero, Rob Gerbrecht, and Sean Hamilton. Want to know what's going to be on the show next time? Stick around and find out.
Thanks for listening to the show. Stick around to hear what's coming up next episode, but first, I want to fill you in on a few ways you can stay in touch with the show. Want to be on the show? Leave us a voicemail at 702-763-4838. That's 702-POD-4TFU. Or send an email to info@TFU.info. Be sure to catch us on Twitter at TFU_info and on Facebook and Instagram under the username TFU.INFO, all one word. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/TFU.INFO, where we post all of our podcasts, plus special video segments, reviews, and live coverage of Transformers-related events such as New York Toy Fair and New York Comic-Con. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please visit us at www.tfu.info, the world's longest-running transforming toy archive.
And that will do it for this episode of Transformers University. Next time on the show, we're going to go back to the Marvel UK and cover a bunch of stories with Ultra Magnus and the Wreckers. It's going to be a good time. I've already started reading some, and they're pretty good. So if you're ready for City of Fear and a few more stories, come on by for episode 154 of Transformers University. Until next time, I am your host, Anthony Brucali, owner, operator, madman behind TFU.info. See ya.
Transformers University, brought to you by TFU.INFO. Where the stories unfold, the legends grow with the owner, Maria, Method, Anthony, Brucali. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. Tune in, transform and roll out with us at Transformers University. It's a must.